Well, today we proudly welcome a living legend in the world of archaeology and Egyptology. He's been called the voice of the ancients, a guardian of the pyramids, and the man who brought the mysteries of Egypt to the world. Today we are honored to sit down with the one and only Dr. Zahi Hawass, world-renowned archaeologist, former Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities, best-selling author, and the force behind some of the most groundbreaking discoveries in modern history. From unlocking the secrets of the Great Pyramid to uncovering the tombs of forgotten queens, Dr. Hawass has spent decades unearthing the truth buried beneath the sands of time. Now, in the midst of his highly anticipated U.S. and Canadian tour, he joins us to share the latest revolution shaking up the world of ancient history, including new discoveries that may rewrite anything we thought we knew about the pharaohs, the Sphinx, and the afterlife itself. Get ready to journey deep into the heart of the ancient Egypt with a man who knows it better than anyone alive. This is a once-in-a-lifetime conversation for me, and you won't want to miss it. So let's step into the tombs, walk through the Valley of the Kings, and open the scrolls of time. I'm Tony Sweet with Truth Be Told. Please welcome to the Truth Be Told studios for the first time, Dr. Zahi Hawass. Hello, hello. Well, I am excited to have you here. It's an honor, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, because I'm excited about your tour. And I'm going to get right into this, because having you here in America and, traveling to the U.S. and Canada with your tour, what inspired this international journey, and what are the key messages are you hoping to share with your audience here?
I think the most important thing that really I am here is, first of all, I do have a message from this tour that I give to the public, and to tell them that Egypt is safe. Because we need tourists. And the reason that we need tourists, because without tourists, we'll not be able to do any conservation and any restoration. And number two, all these major discoveries that I'm doing, it's really important for me that the public should know the truth, should know what's happening, should know all the discoveries that we are making. And number three, I'm excavating in Saqqara and Luxor in the Valley of the Kings. And we need people to support our field work and to have fund to continue this excavation and to continue the discoveries that we are making right now.
That's wonderful, and I do want to ask you about Saqqara. Can you tell us about one or two of the most exciting discoveries made this year and last?
The most important discovery, I have been searching for the pyramid of a king called Huni, and Huni is the last king of Dynasty 3, who came to the throne after Sekhemkhet and Zoser. And I found this pyramid in Saqqara, but we did not enter the burial chamber yet. The style of the pyramid, it's exactly Dynasty 3, but we are not sure yet the owner of the pyramid. But I think it should be Huni, because Huni is the only king in the whole kingdom that we did not discover his pyramid yet. And also in Saqqara, we have been excavating around the pyramid of Titi, and Titi is the first king of Dynasty 6. And we discovered underneath a new village. We built a village for the workmen 100 years ago, and this village was demolished. Underneath the village, we found tombs, and the most important is the discovery of a royal tomb.
Oh, wow.
Of the son of the king Userkaf, who's the first king of Dynasty 5. And inside the tomb, we found major important, beautiful statues dated to Dynasty 3. And one great group of statues of Zoser and his father and his queen and his daughters, unique ones. And this is why I'm thinking that since Archaeologist has been searching for the tomb of of Imhotep. And Imhotep is the famous architect who designed the step pyramid at Saqqara. And archaeologists searched for his tomb everywhere, except what's underneath this village that we demolished. And I'm thinking that the tomb of Imhotep should be hidden underneath this village that we demolished. And in September, we'll continue our excavation.
As they say here in America, I would love to be a fly on the wall to watch over what you guys are doing. I think it's what you're doing in Saqqara is still continues to stun, with these new findings. And one thing that I'm really interested in is what you're learning with these recent discovery of tombs and coffins that you've unearthed about ancient Egypt's beliefs in the afterlife. Have you had much discovery on their beliefs in the afterlife? Has it changed at all?
Everything. I always say that the belief of the afterlife built Egypt. And this is why we discovered tombs that the Egyptian built to live in these tombs in the afterlife. All the scenes in the tombs are the idealistic life that the person would like to see in the afterlife. And this is why everything in ancient Egypt is really amazing to show how the ancient Egyptian prepared for the afterlife. Then the most amazing thing that we really discovered recently, and it became the most important discovery in Egypt after the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun, is the Golden City, a major, big city. Because always what you see in Egypt when you travel there, you only see tombs, temples, and pyramids. And this really is a quest for immortality, is how the Egyptian wanted to build all of this for the afterlife, and how the king actually is making himself to be a god in the afterlife by building a tomb for himself, temples for the worship of the gods, smiting the enemies of Egypt, giving offering to the gods. But the discovery of this city is amazing, because this is the first time that you know about the artist who really made this civilization. The city was built in the time of Amenhotep III. And Amenhotep III is the godfather of the Amarna period. And we found in this city major important workshops making statues of granite, diorite, making textile, clothing, children toys, mud brick for building tombs. Incredible. And we discovered the name of the city was called Tahin. Tahin Aton means the dazzling Aton. And what's really important that we found out that Amenhotep III called his palace also the dazzling Aton. And he called my city the dazzling Aton. And he called himself the dazzling Aton. When his son Akhenaten went to Amarna, he said, I built this city for my father Aton. Wow. It could be Amenhotep III, could be Aton himself. And this is why what really has been found in Egypt now, most of my excavation and most of what I think I'm giving now more than 20 lectures now. And I believe that the audience in the States now, for the first time, they can know about major discoveries that happened in Egypt. And this never happened before. These tours that we are making, never an Egyptologist did a tour like this. Never an Egyptologist came to meet all this great public in America. And they really received my lectures beautifully. And I'm really happy to answer all their questions and sign my book to them. And I'm really happy for them to understand also that what has been said about me, that I'm hiding evidence about lost civilization, is not true. Because how can I hide anything? I'm not working alone. And this is why all the evidence that we do we always announce it to the public. Even we do live programs.
Yeah.
I did many live from Bahri Oasis, from Middle Egypt, from Giza Plateau. I did announce, and we showed the doors that we found inside the Great Pyramid. Then we always announce everything that we discovered. And this is why I want people to understand that this idea of conspiracy, it doesn't work at all in archaeology. Mm-hmm. And this idea of aliens built the pyramids, also, we have no evidence of that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, because over the years I've interviewed over 1,000 episodes of Truth Be Told. I've interviewed people with a lot of theories about the pyramids. But one thing, when I was a little kid, probably 7 or 8 years old in the 1970s, my family went to Chicago because we have some family live there, and it happened to have King Tutankhamun. He was on tour, and my question for you is, it made a big impact on me to really love ancient civilizations. Why do you feel that humans of our era, of our day and age, are still so interested in these past civilizations, and how is Egypt so important to know the past of these great pyramids and tombs? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think ancient Egypt became known to the people everywhere. And even if you ask a child in any country on the age of 8 and you tell him Egypt, he will tell you Tutankhamun, King Tut. The discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun, or as people in the States call King Tut, in November 4th, 1922, is really the most important discovery that happened in history. And the discovery of this tomb by Howard Carter and Lord Carnarvon really had many kind of stories about how they found it, the curse of the pharaohs, the curse of King Tut, and the exhibit that left Egypt in 1970 or something. I was not involved in antiquities at that time. 55 objects of the most beautiful objects of the tomb has been toured America. And also, I did send, when I was the head of antiquities, an exhibit in 2005, toured about 10 cities in America. And I want to tell you that King Tut, and also the Great Pyramid, that people talk about Khufu all the time, and there is many movies has been done by Hollywood about building the pyramid. The Sphinx, people think there is hidden secrets underneath the Sphinx.
Right.
And finally, mummies. Mummies has magic, that the children everywhere are thrilled by mummies. And this is why I really believe that the reason that many people everywhere in America, in Japan, in every city all over, they really are fascinated with ancient Egypt because they see in this civilization things that they can't see today.
Right.
They can see the idea that the ancient Egyptian had, that the pyramid was a national project of the whole nation. The 3 millions who lived in Egypt in that time participated in building the pyramid by sending workforce and food to help the king. In return, they did not pay taxes. And this is why, if you try to look at the pyramid today, you will never be able to think that this pyramid built by a human being. And also, if you try to build it today, you'll never be able to do it because you don't have the same dedication that the Egyptian had. Are you going today to hire 10,000 workmen a day to work for 28 years? No, you don't have the same dedication that this was a national project of the whole nation. And in the same time, look what we discovered. We discovered the tombs of the pyramid builders, a major important discovery that can tell the public that pyramids built by Egyptians, because the names that we discovered inside the tombs are Egyptian names only. And the second important thing, that pyramids were not built by slaves, because if they were slaves, they will never be buried in the shadow of the pyramids. If they were slaves, they will never prepare their tombs for eternal like kings and queens. This major important discovery. The other important thing that we recorded inside the Great Pyramid, more names of the gangs who built the pyramid. But the major discovery of a papyri that was found a few years ago is called the Wadi al-Jarf papyri. This is the first evidence that we do have telling us about building the pyramid. This guy, Mirror, who's an overseer of a workman, he was an inspector of the workmen. He had 40 workmen working under him. And this written in hieroglyphic and hieratic. And he's saying, I am from the Delta. I was hired by Khufu to work in his pyramid. And he said something, my immediate boss, his name is Didi. Can you believe in my excavation west of the Great Pyramid? You know, west of the Great Pyramid of Khufu, we do have tombs of the people who served the pyramid and the king. I excavated in this area and I found many tombs, and we published all these tombs except one small one. And this small one is for Didi, who was Mirror's boss. And after that, Mirror said he took his workmen and went to Torah to cut the white fine limestone. And he explained how they cut the stones and how they transported the stones on wooden sledges to a cargo boat to go to Giza, transport the stones up to the pyramid. And Mirror and his workmen will sleep overnight, and they go again to Torah to cut the stones. And after that, he went to Sinai. In Sinai, he said, I'm working in year 27 of Khufu's reign. And he explained that Khufu lived in a palace at Giza.
Wow.
And the area that he lived in, it called An Khufu in hieroglyphic, means Khufu lives. And also he told us that the big boss to oversee building the pyramid was someone, his name is Ankh-Kaf. And we have a statue of Ankh-Kaf. It's shown now in Museum of Fine Arts in Boston.
Wow.
And he said that we are working in year 27 of Khufu's reign. Amazing, amazing, important information that we know for the first time.
Wow. I'm like watching a History Channel, just listening to you. It's so fascinating how your life has been so
Thank you.
Amazing. And I love how you dedicated your life to demystifying ancient Egypt for the public. But how do you balance the need for the scholarly accuracy versus public fascination? Because I'm doing my excavation now with my team. But the most important thing that for a scholarly work, I published. Yeah.
More than 250 scientific articles in journals. And I wrote many scientific books and many popular books. And actually, I believe that the public should hear what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I give lectures to scholars, but in the same time, I travel all over Japan, Europe, Australia, everywhere to give talks. But the most important that in my talks, I believe that the public has the right. Then actually, I'm trying in the same time, because I have been the director of the pyramids for a long time.
Right.
And I found there was many people like Graham Hancock and Robert Buffal and John Antonowist was really attacking and writing about lost civilization and things like that. And I began to answer them, to tell them, we have no evidence about that. We drilled underneath the Sphinx. We found nothing is hidden underneath the Sphinx. I think this debate that I did among those people made me to be more interested in talking to the public.
For sure.
And this is why this lecture tour, even it's difficult, because we go to a city every 3 days. But I'm really happy to see the amount of people, the number of people who comes to the lecture is really amazing, that we accommodate the need of all of them. And I really, in the day of the lecture in every city, it takes like 4 hours for me to meet the VIP and to give the lecture and to answer the questions and sign books. At the end, really, I am happy because during the question and answers in my lecture, I answer what the public think. Because those people, they watched me in Discovery Channel and History Channel and National Geographic, and they watched, they know all the work that I did. And that's why I'm really happy to come this year and give them, because I really say that year 2025 and year 2026 is going to be the most important year for the Egyptian archaeology because of the work, the amazing work, searching for the tomb of Queen Nefertiti in the Valley of the Kings, using DNA to reveal the secrets of the mummy of Queen Nefertiti and her daughter Ankhesenamun, to find out how Tutankhamun died. All these great discoveries that we are making near the temple of Queen Hatshepsut, amazing discovery near the temple of Hatshepsut that it changed history. Then when I made all these discoveries, and I see among the fan emails that I receive through my website, and people ask me all the time, we need you to come to America and Canada to give this lecture tour. And this is why we arranged this lecture tour now for the public to understand all these major discoveries and to tell them that Egypt is safe, because we need tourists to come back to Egypt.
I haven't been there yet. I like yearn to go, so I hope to go soon. But looking,
where are you based?
I live in Los Angeles, and unfortunately I missed your lecture when you were here. I really wanted to go, and I couldn't make it.
I'm coming in October to Santa Ana because they're having a film festival.
I will be there.
And this film festival, they're showing a documentary film that a company in Los Angeles, Jeff Roth, he made a film about my life. And this film is going to be shown in the film festival in October.
I will be there.
You will invite you that you can come, and I meet you there in Santa Ana.
It's a deal. I will be there for sure. I just have a few more questions because I know you're busy, and I know you want to.
Please, take your time.
Okay, great. Well, you've had an extraordinary life. I mean, and career. And it's like asking a parent your favorite discovery or favorite kid. But what discovery or project has impacted you personally the most?
I believe there is 2 important discoveries that I believe that were important to me. The first, of course, was the discovery of the tombs of the pyramid builders that we have been excavating to reveal the secrets of the workmen. And we discovered the upper cemetery for the workmen who are educated, and we found titles like the overseer of the side of the pyramid, craftsman, the man who stand in front of the harbor. All these titles had to do with building the pyramid. And the lower cemetery is for the workmen who move the stones. All these people who came through the support of the households in Upper and Lower Egypt. And down to the east, we found an area for sorting salted fish, a bakery for making bread. We found the workmen barracks, that the workmen who moved the stones lived in it. We found a big, large city for the technicians. And we discovered amazing things that people say that the builders who built the pyramids ate garlic and bread and they drink beer. But we discovered thousands of animal bones And we had an expert from Chicago who actually studied the bones. And he told us that the Egyptian slaughter every day 11 cows and 13 goats. And this can feed 10,000 workmen a day. And we believe that the workmen who built the pyramid worked every day for 28 years. And they took 1 day off every 10 days. Now, the second important discovery are the recent one, the Golden Lost City. And because I called it Lost City, because I never thought that this city could be discovered. There is no way. How can you discover an intact city like this? And the reason that the city was intact, we found out that on Dynasty 20th, later, Ramses IV came to the area and he decided to build a temple, a temple there. Then what he did, he asked his people to cover the city with sand. And this is how the city was saved.
Oh, wow.
And I called the city the Golden because it was built in the time of the Golden Age, the time of Amenhotep III. And we discovered inside the city amazing pottery and artifacts, and tell us for the first time about the people who really made this civilization.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I would love to, like I said, I would just love to see this discoveries that you make. And I know there's a lot more to be discovered. You know, there's a lot of sand. And so what is some of the mystery of ancient Egypt do you still hope to solve?
You know, there is many things. You know, number one, in Luxor, we are searching now for the tomb of Queen Nefertiti because we need to know the history of Amarna. The history of Amarna is not clear. Is Nefertiti became a pharaoh or not? We need really to discover this tomb. Also, in the Valley of the Kings, you have the tomb of Amenhotep I, and the tomb of Ramses VIII was not found yet. You have also the tombs of the queens of Dynasty 18. Their tombs were not found. Also, you have the major discovery that people ask me all the time here, which is the tomb of Alexander the Great and the tomb of Cleopatra. Then you still have many mysteries in ancient Egypt that you need to be revealed. Because I tell people until today that we found only 30% of the Egyptian monuments, and there's still 70% is buried underneath the ground. And you never know what the sand of Egypt may hide of secrets.
Right. I bet you there's quite a bit. Okay, so this is my last question from me, and then I want to ask a couple questions from your fans and people that love what you do. But I've interviewed many people over the years talking about the age of the Great Pyramid. I've heard from a few thousand years to 30,000 years old. What is your take on the age of the Great Pyramid?
You know, in ancient Egypt, there is no gaps.
Yeah.
to make us to give any dates that's not true. If you look at ancient Egypt, you have Dynasty 1 and Dynasty 2. This is the beginning of writing. And the kings of that time built their tombs, huge ones, from mud brick. And after that came another king, which is Zoser. And his architect, Imhotep, the genius one, built his tomb for the first time from mud brick to limestone. And above the first tomb, he put 5 ones. Then became the step pyramid. Then we do have, for sure, based on king lists that the Egyptian left, based on the people who were buried west of the Great Pyramid, the officials, the priests who maintained the cult of the pyramid. You have in the east the tombs of the queens, the pyramids of the queens, and the tombs of his sons. You have the Wadi al-Jarf papyri. Then all the evidence that we have date the Great Pyramid of Khufu to 4,600 years ago. Anything after that, give me one evidence. Give me one single evidence that the pyramid ages, as you say, 30,000.
Right.
If the pyramid is 15,000, as some people say, then I tell them the people who built the pyramid 15,000 years ago, aren't they going to leave something in the ground to prove their existence? I have been excavating at Giza, myself and my friend Mark Leaner, for the last 50 years. We excavated everywhere. We worked inside the Great Pyramid, the Second Pyramid, the Third Pyramid, the tombs of the workmen, and all what we found at Giza until now, the first level dated to the Old Kingdom, 4,600 years ago. And after that, you have up Middle Kingdom, New Kingdom, Roman.
Wow.
Then we do not really have any evidence to date the pyramid before this, more than this age at all.
No matter what age it is, it still has kept up. I mean, they did a great job building it just to be able to stay intact as well as it is. So I'm really impressed about that. So now I thought it would be great because a lot of people they don't get a chance to go to your seminars or they don't get to ask. So I'm going to ask just two questions. And this, we may have covered a few of these, but it says, Dr. Hawass, is there a discovery you made that still gives you chills to this day? Is there one that just kind of took your breath away when you opened the tomb or...
In Saqqara, of course, in the shadow of the step pyramid, when I go down 60 feet under the ground and open a sealed sarcophagus that dated back 4,300 years ago, this is beautiful moment when the workmen will come down with me and use their tools to open the lid that weighed 10 tons. And after that, I take the moment to enter with my face with a flashlight and look what's inside the sarcophagus. And I could see a golden mummy.
Oh,
but
my gosh.
The major discovery really that I'm very proud now, and all the media and the TVs and the press talking about it, is the discovery of the Golden City.
Oh, I'm jealous. But anyway, so I'll go to the next question. And this is kind of a fun one. We kind of hear this in other variations, but it says, if you could have a conversation with any pharaoh, who would it be?
Khufu.
Oh, Khufu.
I wrote my doctorate dissertation about the pyramids. I lived in front of the Great Pyramid in a beautiful small rest house for 2 years.
Wow.
I published books about the Great Pyramid and about Khufu. And you know what's funny? Because I love this king a lot, I wrote a novel. This is my first novel. And this novel is called Khufu and the Queen with the Golden Eyes. Now, all the characters in the novel are true. We know them. But the story is a drama. I created the story. And what is the story is about? I made Khufu as a good man. Before he became a king, he used to hide himself and go in the bar to drink with people and go to the market and buy things and meet the people and know what they're thinking about. And he felt in love with a farmer lady. And when he became a king, he searched for this lady everywhere until he found her.
What a great moment.
And he loved her. And he built a city for her. And that is the city that was mentioned by Mirror in the papyri. He called it Ankh Khufu, means Khufu lives. His love to this lady made him to treat the workmen well and to build the most important pyramid on earth. In this novel, I described to the people for the first time the life. And I really showed in my novel that the ancient Egyptian people were like us. They were not giants. They were not people came out of the space, but they're normal people like us, but they believed in one thing. The pyramid was the national project of the whole nation.
Wow.
And this is why I really wanted all my life when people ask me if you want to live in any time of history, I say in the time of our kingdom and to be Khufu.
I love it. And it sounds like a great romance story. I think that would be a great TV series for Netflix.
This novel is published in Japanese, in French, in Italian, in Arabic. I'm looking for an American publisher, actually, to publish it.
I think that would be, so if there's any out there that's listening in, this is a great novel, and also I think a great series, because I've seen some pretty good Egyptian Netflix series that try to hold to the truth. So I love it. So, well, Dr. Hawass, thank you so much. And thank you.
Really, I'm very happy to talk this interview, and I hope that we'll see you one day in Egypt.
Oh, don't worry. I will be there. And make sure you go to the website, hawasszahi.com. You can go to the 2025 tour. I mean, you have quite a few dates left, clear into the end of July and August. And then you're going to be doing Santa Ana, it sounds like, at a film festival here in October. So there's a lot of opportunities to still see this amazing legend. And we really appreciate you for doing what you do.
Thank you very, very much. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We had such a great time. I hope you did, at least. I know I did, talking with Dr. Zahi Hawass. I hope you guys can go see him on his tour if you're in one of the areas that he's going to be in. And also, please, if you can, subscribe to our YouTube channel and also Apple, iHeart, Spotify for our audio podcast. And please leave a good review for us. We really need those because that does help us move up the charts when you guys do that. And please share our show with your friends. And again, thank you for supporting us all these years. Don't forget to tune in on Monday with Truth Be Told Going Wild. And then we have Bonnie Burkert on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Truth Be Told Transformation. Of course, me every Friday right here on our Club Paranormal YouTube channel. Until next time, please take care of yourself and each other and walk like an Egyptian. Talk to you soon.